Hello, I'm Ewan Davidson from Godalming Family Mediation. What I find as a mediator is that often, understandably, people are concerned about whether mediation is the right option to move forwards. What I would say is that if you're having any thoughts about whether it's the best way to move forwards, book that initial meeting with the mediator, and that's called a Mediation, Information and Assessment meeting, or that's MIAM for short. And in that MIAM meeting, what should happen is that the mediator gives you a chance to explain your situation, to ask any questions that you might have about the options that you've got going forwards, and also importantly, to explore whether mediation would be the best option for you. Ultimately, it's your choice whether you would like to mediate, but it's very useful, I think, to be able to have that confidential conversation with a professional mediator, and to see whether there's anything that might prevent mediation or anything that can be done to improve the process and then maximize the chances of it being successful. To give some examples of the issues over the years that I've had raised within either within the individual MIAM meetings or prior to starting a meeting, there are concerns about whether or not distance could stop mediation taking place. So if someone lives too far away or both the parties live quite a long way apart, what I would say is that you've got to understand that if a case was to go to court, you would have to travel to go to the court. So far better, I would suggest that you make that journey first to start the mediation process, rather than saving it up further down the line. Another reason that's sometimes given is if there's been any kind of domestic violence, either in the past or more recently. What I would say is that there are lots of different ways that we can approach the issue of domestic violence. We can put safety measures in place, varying from always ensuring that the mediator is present whenever both parties are in the room, all the way to having what's called shuttle mediation, where you can be in the office at the same time, but within different rooms so you don't have to meet. Another reason that's given can be that people believe that mediation might not be able to deal with complicated cases or ones that involve high-value assets. What I would say is that's definitely not the case. You can discuss anything within mediation. And what's really important to understand is you can access as much advice as you would like in parallel with the mediation process. That advice could be legal advice, it could be financial, such as pensions advice, and the idea is you would access that advice, either individually or collectively if that was appropriate, bring it back into the mediation process, and then you'd be able to talk over together, try and work out what the best way forwards is, having received that advice. A further reason that can be given for mediation not being suitable is it just won't work. That's an interesting one because you will never find out in life whether anything works until you try it. And I would say, given how much cheaper mediation can be, how much more efficient and also much more effective as a process, it's always worth trying it, because all you've got to lose would be a small sort of sum of money compared to what it might cost to go to court or go down the legal route, and some time and some effort. And you'll also find out a lot about what the other person is thinking during that process. To summarize, if you're having any concerns or thoughts about whether mediation might be the best way forwards, that's understandable. What you should do is contact your local family mediator, organise the confidential mediation information and assessment meeting, talk through your issues, and then make a measured and informed decision having had that conversation. To find out more, please download the free divorce and separation guide from the website. Thank you.